In the early 5th century BC, the Mediterranean world was convulsed by the Greco-Persian Wars. Empires collided and cities burned, but as the dust settled, the memories of these staggering events were slipping away, at risk of fading completely into the void of time. Herodotus of Halicarnassus was born a subject of the Persian Empire, and later exiled by political rivals. He spent his life wandering from the Upper Nile to the northern shores of the Black Sea, on a mission to gather the surviving fragments of human memory before they disappeared. Before him, the past was recorded through royal decrees, lists of conquests carved into stone to glorify a king. Herodotus rejected this, offering a different approach he called historiae. Historiae is an ancient Greek term meaning inquiry or research. By asking questions instead of taking dictation, an independent researcher was actively investigating the world. This marked the first instance of a researcher attempting to save the marvels of human civilization from the void of time through investigation rather than royal decree. To build this record, Herodotus operated under a strict methodological rule, legein ta legomena. This translates to the obligation to record what is told. If a local culture shared a tradition with him, he felt bound to preserve it exactly as he heard it. But he also established his right to disbelieve. He explicitly stated that recording a mythos, which in his day simply meant a tale or tradition without an inherent implication of falsehood, did not mean he personally endorsed it as absolute truth. He carefully categorized his data to protect his credibility. He drew a sharp line between ocular evidence, things he had seen with his own eyes, and hearsay, the reported speech of others. We see this method in action when he investigates the origins of the Greco-Persian feud. He first presents the Persian account, which claims centuries of violence began when Phoenician sailors forcefully abducted an Argive woman named Io. Immediately following that, he presents the Phoenician rebuttal. They argued that Io was never kidnapped. According to their account, she had an affair with the ship's captain and fled willingly to hide her pregnancy from her parents. By placing these conflicting accounts side by side, without forcing a singular version, Herodotus invented a concept that allowed the audience to weigh the evidence for themselves. This method of gathering local accounts struggled when it encountered subjects far beyond the Mediterranean basin, particularly in the realms of geography and meteorology. Working at the edge of the known world, he lacked data for the European interior, leading to geographic errors like asserting the Danube originates in the Pyrenees. He also believed the sun's physical path was directly altered by atmospheric winds. This animated timeline demonstrates a catastrophic mathematical error he made regarding Egyptian history. By assuming 341 kings ruled consecutively for 30 years each, rather than realizing many reigns overlapped contemporaneously, he calculated an impossible timeline spanning over 11,000 years. While his math and geography fall short of modern standards, these errors are valuable to us today. They provide a perfectly preserved fossil of the exact limits of scientific thought in the ancient world. Herodotus did not rely on science alone. He also applied a distinct moral lens to structure the data of human history. To him, the past was an active sphere for divine judgments, where the gods actively maintained cosmic balance. This framework relies on two coupled concepts: hubris, which is an overweening pride or an outraging of cultural norms, and nemesis, the force of divine retribution that is inevitably summoned to punish that pride. He applied this moral equation directly to his primary subject. He framed the catastrophic defeat of the massive Persian invasion of Greece as the divine penalty for imperial overreach. History functioned as a theater of divine justice, proving that human prosperity cannot continue indefinitely in one state. Over the centuries, critics have sometimes dismissed him as a mere raconteur, or even the father of lies, pointing to his inclusion of myths and his rough chronology as proof of gullibility. But that criticism ignores his value. For the private lives and early reigns of foundational figures like Cyrus the Great, we have no other evidence. The moralizing accounts Herodotus provides are the only surviving historical record we possess. His greatest structural achievement lies in how he organized this massive collection of data. He was the first writer to take dozens of wildly diverse ethnographic tangents and subordinate them into a single unified narrative arc, the clash between East and West. By strictly adhering to his rule of telling the tale as it was told to me, he rejected the role of a mouthpiece for the state. He severed the historian from the king, establishing the investigator as an independent researcher. Through his tireless inquiry, Herodotus placed European prose literature on its foundation, ensuring the marvels of the ancient world survive the void of time.